Am I coming through loud and clear, boys and girls? That's what I want to know. But anyway, Manchester United have just beaten Chelsea 4-0 at Old Trafford. Fantastic performance second half from us, I must say. Thought it was very, very impressive of a display from the lads second half. We completely tore Fat Frank's Chelsea to shite. We put the sword to them. First half, fair play to Chelsea. They came at us. They exposed some of the problems maybe we did have down that left-hand side with the likes of Luke Shaw and some of the covering issues with Maguire and things like that. But second half, we were so much better and we just got right at them. I mean, I cannot believe that we've just beaten Chelsea 4-0. It's absolutely mesmeric is what it is. So much pressure, so much expectation going into this season, and we've just battered Fat Frank's Chelsea 4-0. Crikey malikey, lads and lasses. It's a stunner. It's an absolute stunner of a first opening Premier League result for us. At Old Trafford, wasn't sure if some of the players were ready to step up after the transfer window we had. I mean, I said before the game, one of the best top teams we could face right now, if it's first, game of the season against one of the top teams, it is Chelsea, because Lampard, new inexperienced manager, Chelsea transfer ban, all these things added up to maybe a slightly easier game for United than it would have been against one of the other teams. But we've battered them 4-0, lads and lasses. 4-0. So there's no argues about that one. We've completely destroyed them. The team's performed well. Let me get into it. So the first half performance from United wasn't the best at all. I'm not going to say that it was. They had lots and lots of joy going down the right-hand side. Luke Shaw questionable at times. And they did create a fair bit. They hit the woodwork a multiple amount of times. They caused us problems. They had chances. They called save after save from David De Gea, mostly at him, but he did do exactly what was asked of him. Chelsea played very well first half. Credit to Chelsea, considering that they haven't been able to sign many players or any players because of the transfer ban. Obviously, they made a loan move permanent, but other than that, they weren't able to really strengthen and get the people in. So Lampard having to work with what he's got there, having to work with some of the youth. It was one of the younger Chelsea sides that have been put out for many a year. So I think that was an interesting performance from Lampard's Chelsea in the first part of that game there. They can take something from that. But at the end of the day, their inexperience shone through. They gave away the ball too many times. A couple of times they gifted us opportunities with some of their sloppy play. But after that we scored that penalty, we did have a good spell in the first half, which was a Kurt Zuma foul on Rashford. What does Marcus Rashford do? There's so many questions. There was so much doubt surrounding Rashford about, can he step up? Can he be that sort of a player who gets us 20 goals a year or 25 goals a year? Can he be that man? Because now's the time to do it, because we need you. You've got to step up to the mantle now. Well, there you go. He's silenced some of the doubters there. He's answered some of the critics, because he's just banged in 2 bloody goals today. That penalty, smashed it in the top left of the hand side of the goal, and great bit of composure, calmness from him to solid away there. Let's not forget this lad is still very, very young. You're talking about 21 years of age. You're talking about someone who's still got a lot of improving to do, but he is going to have to contribute and he is going to have to perform now. Now, in the first half, other than that, his general performance was good, but his final product was a little bit off out there in wide positions. There wasn't much of a final product. That goes for the same with Martial first half, a lot of the players first half. But second half is where all things changed for United. We took that all-important lead into half-time. Second half, we came out and we looked a lot more comfortable in midfield. The midfield was absolutely bang average today. Let's be real, they were. Pogba in the first half was atrocious. Dawdling on it, giving the ball away, not having much input in terms of creativity. And then McTominay, he tried and he kept trying, but it wasn't the most standout performance that I've seen from him. He's looked much better in pre-season, but decent. Second half is where we really shone. Paul Pogba absolutely silenced the doubters with that fantastic lofted through ball over the top to feed in Marcus Rashford for that goal that they gave away there. I mean, that truly was just stunning execution, great vision. You can't really teach that. Brilliant vision, great ball. And Rashford has taken it and slotted away with so much coolness and experience, much beyond his years. The lad is a serious player. Let's not forget this. He has scored goals. He has got that natural ability. He is a good finisher. So let's just believe in Marcus Rashford. Let's believe in Anthony Martial and hope that they can step up and do the job this year, even though we didn't really go out and get the backup for them. We still got Mason Greenwood, but those lads are going to have to do it for us. And today, boy, did they do it. Boy, did they do it. And let me go back, actually. I've got ahead of myself. So the goal before that, fantastic. Pereira was great all day, I thought, actually. The effort, the work rate from the lad. He's a player that can certainly step up for United. I like that Ole Gunnar's put this team out today. I thought the team selection was brilliant from the start. The back line looked incredibly better, which I will get onto in a moment, but let's just finish talking about Pereira. He put in a stunning performance, that assist for the second goal, down the right-hand side, whipped the ball in, fantastic cross, 6-yard box, and Anthony Martial's waiting for it, sticks it in. That took the pressure off United, and like I was talking about in my live stream of the game, because of the type of players that United have, that is how we need to approach games. We need to try and get that early lead early on, get right at teams on the front foot, get up there, press high, get that early goal. And then what that does is what happened to Chelsea in the second half. They then have to start searching. They then have to start committing numbers forward. They have to start leaving holes at the back. And United, with our pace and our counter-attacking ability, which is on display numerous times in that second half, we can really hurt teams. And that's exactly what we did with Chelsea second half. Countered them off the park. We hurt them with the pace in behind, playing balls over the top, direct football to the likes of Rashford, to the likes of Martial with their pace, the likes of Daniel James when he came on, which we'll talk about as well. There's lots to talk about in this game. Absolutely loads to talk about in this one. So I'm going to stick around for a little while and get into some of your comments and interact with you guys. So I'm just going to say my piece now and then we'll get into the comment section. But thanks for everybody who's tuning in live right now. Do us a favor, in fact, smash a like on this video if you're in here. Please give it a share on social media if you can. And we'll just break down the game a bit. Sorry if I'm sweating like an absolute pig, by the way. I feel like one. It's very hot in here. They've got a couple of lights on. It's roasting. I've been moving around and shouting and expending a lot of freaking energy during this last couple of hours on the live watch along. So thanks to everybody who endured that anyway. I've been smashing the setup and everything. But anyway, it was incredible. Let me talk about some of the other players that played then. So, yes, Martial as well. Martial, he scored that goal. First half, he was quite invisible, a la Paul Pogba, same sort of thing. They didn't have much of an impact in the game. He did have one chance from a Chelsea mistake, which fell to him and forced a good save from their keeper. But other than that, quiet first half. But second half, some of the interplay, some of the interlinking, some of the 1-2s with the likes of Rashford were brilliant. And of course, he did get that all-important goal, which will give him big confidence because he's given that number 9 number, that shirt number, for a reason. He is going to be our main striker this season, and he's going to have to score goals. So's Rashford too, but Rashford seems to be playing a bit more out wide. Martial's going to have to score and convert his chances when he gets them. So I'm very pleased for him that he got on the score sheet. It was basically just a complete dream start for United today. It could not have gone any better, lads and lasses. Really. It couldn't have gone any better. The way that we bullied and we tore them apart in the second half and we really hurt them on the counter, it showed what we can do to teams. It showed that with that pace and that fast movement, and if we've got Paul Pogba playing those sorts of balls that he did, because today he's provided 2 fantastic world-class assists, really, of different qualities. The first one, that vision, that execution to ping it over the top there, long ball over the top, judged to perfection to set up Rashford for that goal, which came from shocking Chelsea play, by the way, giving the ball away. But the second goal as well, equally fantastic, but completely different. Plays a lovely little 1-2 with Martial, I think, on the left-hand side of the pitch. And he gets in behind the defender, and he absolutely drives forward at goal with a fantastic run. And then he's just got the wherewithal, he's got the intelligence just to cut back a little bit, just to hold up for a second, wait for Daniel James to catch up with him, and then he feeds in Daniel James with the perfect little ball in. And Daniel James shows fantastic composure just to take it out wide, just to steady himself, and then pings it, and there is a deflection, but pings it into the back of the net for 4-0, lads and lasses. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? I mean, you should have been watching the live. If you weren't watching the live stream, go back and watch the live stream after this video is finished. Because there was some bloody mangasms happening all over the place, I tell you. Saw it during some of those goals. Because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing with my eyes. Of course, the second goal really hurt them. It really took the wind out of Chelsea's sails. Because up until that point, they were really in the game. They were. I'd be lying if I said I thought Chelsea performed badly up until about the 60-minute mark. After that, we dominated them. But there's reason for that. It's because they're 2-0 down and they've got to chase the game and go forward and that sort of stuff. So if I'm a Chelsea fan, and there may be some in here watching, I know you just got battered 4-0 by United, but there were some positives to actually take from the game for any Chelsea fans who are watching. So Dream start from United. We've done the job fantastically. Let's talk about the midfield. Bit immobile, some problems in there, no doubt about it, but they did play and perform much better in the second half. That's what I'd say about that. It's still not the most mobile in midfield. Pogba, up until the fantastic work that he did in the second half, providing the assist, was kind of a passenger, if I'm brutally honest. So I'll just give him my honest opinion. Overall, it's a great performance from him, but up until then, not the best, but we'll let him off because he did those two unbelievable genius moments. And I like that, I really do. Let's talk about Paul Pogba, because I have given Paul Pogba a fair amount of stick over the years, a lot of it right because of some of the effort and stuff like that, but today he didn't stop. And what I mean by that is he wasn't playing the best, but he didn't let it completely ruin his game. From a mental point of view, that's big. He still was looking to make something happen, and he did. He got the final product after persevering out there on the pitch, and that is what I want to see from him. He's going to have to put the effort in for United, even if he's going in January, even if we do get a replacement at some point, or he does to get that big money move to Madrid or back to Juve at some point. I just want to see him put in the effort for Manchester United right now and have an impact and live up to the player that he is supposed to be. That's what I want to see, and I'm going to support Paul Pogba this season like any of the United lads. It's a clean slate, it's a new year. It's like me when I used to go back to school in September. It's like the teachers say, look, it's a new slate, okay? We're not just going to chuck you out the room. It's the new year, okay? And it wouldn't take me very long before I got chucked out of the room, but I said it's like that, okay? I'm not chucking Paul Pogba out of the room until he gives me reason to. So I think it's a good performance from him overall, that's what I'm saying. Right, let's get on to the defence. So the defence, Luke Shaw in the first half I thought was a bit ropey. Good offensively, overlapping runs, things like that, but there was a problem with cover and balancing of United's defence on the left-hand side of the pitch there, which Chelsea did exploit time and time again down that right-hand side. They had lots of joy, they had lots of chances, they hit the woodwork multiple times. They caused us all sorts of problems, and they could have perhaps had a lead going in at half-time. That's how unlucky they were, and they were unlucky today up until the second half. So yes, but the back line I thought defended pretty well, apart from a couple of dodgy moments, and there were a couple of dodgy moments. Maguire, oh my days, man! What a player we've got here! Sorry, I'm choking to death. Harry Maguire, though, seriously, what an absolutely great performance. Considering these things, considering it's his first game for United, considering he hasn't had a pre-season, considering he signed like a few days ago, considering he's just got to slot in there and play, raw, cold, coming from Leicester City, I think he put in an absolutely brilliant display of defending. The coolness on the ball, the coolness in possession, keeping hold of it, running out, trying to make forward runs, trying to make something happen from the back. Brilliant from Harry Maguire, such a player. We've got ourselves a fantastic player there, £80 million, maybe too much money, but is it too much money when you're getting one of the best defenders in the league? Because that's what he is, he's the sort of player that can really organise that back line. And I saw him barking at his teammates, I saw him barking orders at them, and I bloody love that, Harry, I do. Do you know what I mean? Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. He fucked off Leicester for Manchester. His head's fucking massive. So we've got Harry Maguire. That's quality. I'm loving that. Great performance from him on his debut. Considering all those things that I said, we're coming up against a good Chelsea side. Well, we've got ourselves a bloody clean sheet, lads and lasses. And that's also down to Lindelof. Lindelof's solid performance as well from him. I think that pairing is going to go well. Listen, they've not had chance to work together. Harry Maguire's not really learned. He's not got that brain memory of where to be and how to cover and all these things playing with Luke Shaw and Lindelof at the moment. These things will come when they play together for a significant period of time. So to put in that sort of a performance defensively, I think is excellent considering. And I think United's emphasis and impetus this season should be to score goals and get forward and get at them and use our pace and get that early lead and make teams have to attack us and stretch them and hit them on the counter. That should be our plan. So I think that is going to allow us to do that a bit better anyway, the fact that we've got a back line. Let's get on to Wan-Bissaka making his Premier League debut for Manchester United, and oh my days, this man is a fantastic player, isn't he? It didn't take him long to just stop Chelsea in their tracks today, and he just kept on doing that throughout the entire game. I thought it was a great defensive performance from Wan-Bissaka. He gives us so much. He also gives us an option going forward. He wasn't as good going forward and overlapping down the right as he was some of the other games we saw in pre-season, but boy oh boy was he still good. And defensively, he's so solid, man. So just look at that. We've got Harry Maguire, we've got Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof could potentially be a great player for us as well. Luke Shaw, in my opinion, is the weakest position in that back line now. I think that was evident again today with some of the issues that we had, but he's still a good player and he still offers us a lot going forward. So I think United's back line is pretty much well sorted this year. The midfield is where our problems are going to be. The midfield is issue laden, and even though we did show how good it can be in that second half, I still think there's problems in there in terms of mobility. And if you take McTominay and Pogba out, then you've got Matic, Matic and Fred, and they're not the most mobile of players. They're not the most defensively minded. I know Matic is supposed to be that big tank defender, but he's too slow these days in my opinion. Right guys, thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Smash a like on it, get your thoughts in now. I am going to go back and read a bunch of comments that have come in and also get your thoughts and opinions in on the game, but I'm over the moon about it. Could not have gone any better than it. It's the dream start. We've battered Jelscums 4-0. Oh, we've given Fat Frank a serious nightmare tonight. It's brilliant. And like I said in my live stream, I know me calling Fat Frank's quite ironic because even when he was a player, he had that puppy fat and that. He weren't the fattest of dudes, was he? Right. Super chat straight off from Yaboy Naughty, who comments, very impressed with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka today. Thank you very much for your super chat and comment there, buddy. 100% agree. I think Maguire, like I said for the reasons a moment ago, put in a great performance considering it was his first performance and first debut game for Manchester United in anything. He did really, really well. So sound. He's such a big slab-head monster. He's so good aerially. He's so good on the ball. He's so good at bringing it out from the back. Things that United have not been good at the last couple of years. When we had Jose, he was trying to play this negative, slow style with these awful defenders. It didn't work. Jose could probably play the way he wanted United to play now with the backline United have, and it would be successful. I don't want United to do that. I'm just saying now we've got the tools to really put up a good solid defensive display week in, week out. So yeah, 100% I agree with you, pal. Thank you so much for getting in there with your super chat and comment. Very impressed with Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka today. 100% agree with you. Thank you very much. Griffo Chaz says, get in there, my son. Kevin Tobin, keep up the great work. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Alex Rudd says, not sure you can judge from this result. Fair enough, Alex Rudd. Thank you for getting in here and moderating. He's an Arsenal fan for anybody who doesn't know. Well, yes, compared to all the other top teams going in against them, if you're looking at odds, if you're looking at who's more likely to win between Manchester United and the other top teams, the bookies would give it to all the other top teams, apart from Chelsea, because of the Frank Lampard situation, the fact they haven't strengthened much in terms of transfers, because they haven't been able to, because of the transfer ban, they had to make one move permanent. Other than that, they've not had the most opportunity to really strengthen that much. Called a couple of players back on loan, like Tammy Abraham and stuff like that, players who played in the Championship with Lamps, and it's not like they've had a great season, or summer, rather, of movement and improvement. They just haven't. Whereas United have improved a bit. Defensively, midfield-wise, we weakened ourselves with the loss of Herrera. Up front, you could argue we weakened ourselves with Lukaku. But what it does mean is that we've got Marcus Rashford, we've got Martial, who have to step up to the mantle now. And because of that, they're probably really confident. They're so positive after this result, I can't tell you. They're going to be absolutely buzzing and looking forward to the season now, and they would have just had such a kick up the arse of belief. Belief that United can do it this season. Belief that maybe they can score 20 plus goals each season. They would have had that belief. And the way that they interplayed with each other as well, I think they love playing with each other. I know that the final balls was off a lot of the time, but some of the movement, some of the little 1-2, some of the little flicks between them, they look like they're brothers out there playing. The chemistry's definitely there. So that's what I like. That's what I like to see. I don't like to see United trying to play a certain way like when we had Lukaku. I think we've got Martial, we've got we've got Rashford, we've got pace up there, we've got Daniel James now. Let's play to our strengths, which is high press. It is get at them. It is try and get those strikers in behind the defence like we saw for United's third goal, when Rashford's made that great forward run and Pogba's just got possession and he's pinged the ball over top. That is direct football, but it's great football. It's football that United have played for years and years and years and years. And it's how we should approach it, because we've got the right tools to play that system. We have the right amount. We have the right types of strikers with the pace in behind to hurt teams and exploit them. So I think we're going to do so much better this year, even though you can say maybe we've actually weakened ourselves by losing Lukaku and Herrera. Thanks everybody for tuning in. DJC says, my son Lewis wants a thumbs up, pig. There you go, buddy. Thank you very much for stopping by on the channel. Get in there, United. We battered them today. It's an absolutely unbelievable performance. Thanks so much to you and to everybody who's tuning in here. Griffo Chaz comments with a super chat, says, feeling in a super chat mood. Wan-Bissaka, man of the match for me. Good shout. I haven't even talked to you about my man of the match here. Now, I probably would have given it to Pogba if it wasn't for the first half performance, because the 2 bits of play from him to create the goals today were outstanding. But because of that first half, I'm saying it wasn't as good an overall performance as it could have been. In terms of the other players, I've got to look at Rashford. Obviously, he's banged in 2 goals today and was a constant threat. And he took them very, very well indeed. I've also got to look at Wan-Bissaka, because he did just put a faultless defensive display in once again. So impressed with him. So I'm going to give it to Wan-Bissaka and Rashford today. Both of those players thought they were brilliant. And yes, and De Gea had a really good game in goal. Let's talk about David De Gea. Captain, hopefully staying at United for a long time. I think he's one of the best goalies in the world. There's no doubting his mentality at United. He put in a really good display today. Okay, a lot of the shots at him were not placed very well, but he still stopped them all. And he's the captain out there. He probably feels a really good responsibility now at United. And he is our best player, really. So it makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much, lads and lasses. Philip Marshall comments, absolute belter of the game. Get in there, Philip. It really was, wasn't it? So enjoyable. What a great way to start the Premier League campaign. Oh, mangasm. All over the place, boys and girls. Tissues at the ready, because it was 4-0. What the fuck am I saying? But it's true, though, 4-0 against Chelsea. What a dream start to the Premier League campaign. I was just hoping we didn't lose this game. I would have been happy with anything other than a loss today. So to get the 4-0, Rashford to bang in 2 goals, and it improved my bloody fantasy football tally too. It's absolutely amazing. I had faith in Rashford, spitting everywhere, because I felt like he is going to have to step up now. He's only 21. There's a lot of pressure on him for a 21-year-old player at United. It's not like the days of old when we had all these quality, experienced strikers around the club. We don't have that now. Martial and Rashford, they're going to have to become those players. They're going to have to step up. So I was feeling just a little bit worried that Marcus Rashford and Martial could do that, but not after today, and that's why I selected him in my fantasy football team, because I truly felt like he will step up this season. It would probably go one of 2 ways, but I think it's gonna happen. There's 37 more games left. I'm not getting carried away. All I'm saying, he scored 2 goals today. He showed coolness and calmness for that penalty, and that second finish from him. Let's just talk about that, because the ball over the top was amazing, but the run was fantastic, and the cool, calm, collected finish, brilliant. It reminded me of that goal Wayne Rooney scored in Euro 2004. When you remember Wayne Rooney broke into the England team and he just had a fantastic tournament. There was one goal where he gets in behind his playthrough and he just slots it away so coolly. It reminded me a lot of that. You probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but some of you might anyway. So, there you go. Super chat here from Gungshi. Comments, perfect start to the season. So happy for the lads, especially Dan James. Absolutely, you bring up a very, very good point for me to talk about, Gungshi. He continues. Great couple of assists from Pogba too. Bring on Wolves. Love it, Gungshi. Thank you so much for getting in here with your super chat. Let me talk about Daniel James then. Yes, I agree. So happy for him, especially him, because he's got his first goal for United. He harried and he tried and he tried and he worked his bloody socks off in pre-season. And he couldn't quite get the assist. He couldn't quite get the goal, but he looked very good indeed, especially in that Spurs game. There's a lot of promise from him. And I was talking about it during the game, the fact that he didn't start the game, I thought that was right. And I thought that bringing him on as a late substitute would help him out a lot, because he's got so much pace. He beats defenders with ease with his pace. And it's only going to help him coming on in the 70th minute against a tiring Chelsea side. And it wasn't really a scenario of him beating with the pace for the goal, but it showed a bit of intelligence from the young lad. He's so young, this guy. He's stepping up to the Premier League from the Championship. A lot of pressure on him. Maybe not coming in this game because of where we were at the time in the game, but also just the fact that he's having to come up and do this in this United side in the Premier League. And he handled it excellently well. He showed a bit of intelligence to just hold the ball when he got it from Pogba for his goal, and then he smacked it towards goal. Bit fortunate to deflect in, but either way, you don't shoot, you don't score. So I'm so happy for him as well, because that will give him bags of confidence. That will take some of the pressure off from an individual point of view for him, just like it will do for Rashford and Martial to get on the score sheet. You need your forward scoring. Daniel James, obviously, I'm looking for him to be that flying winger to assist, but he's probably going to pop up and score some goals as well. So happy with that. Can't agree Can't agree with you more, Gungshi. Bring on Wolves. And Pogba, like you say, those 2 assists from Pogba. You know, I like to slate Pogba, but I'm behind Pogba if he's going to have that sort of an impact and if he's going to continue and play. The first half performance was poor, but like I said earlier, he didn't just let his head drop. He kept going, he kept probing, he kept trying to make things happen. That's what I like to see. So as long as he's here, forever how long he's here, I will want him to do that. I want him to go out there and really play for United. And if he does that, I'll have no problem with him at all. I don't expect him to pull off 2 world-class assists every week. I just want to see a certain effort level. I just want to see him trying for the entire time that he's on the pitch. That's all I ask for, just like I do for every other United player in the squad. Thank you very much there, Gungshi. Stop me comments, Man United defending was too good. I mean, after we came out second half, I thought it was. First half performance, Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof good. There were some issues. Chelsea did cut us open. You know, let's not forget that they hit the woodwork early on. Tammy Abraham smashed it, an opportunity, hit the woodwork, bounced off, and then also they hit the woodwork, they hit the bar. So they were unlucky not to actually go in that game with a lead because United didn't create all that much, apart from Martial's opportunity first half where they gifted the ball to Martial. We didn't really create all that much, to be brutally honest. So I hear what you're saying, but yes, it all came good in the second half. Ole Gunnar obviously changed things at half-time. He had a word with Luke Shaw, he had a word with Lindelof, he had a word with Maguire about some of the covering and the balance and things like that they needed going, you know, when people were overlapping and somebody's got to cover, and they worked it out second half. And defensively, we've got the clean sheet. De Gea, great performance. Maguire, great performance. All things considered, coming in there, looked solid, looked like a leader, fantastic. Ball playing from the back, driving out from the back with his runs. Brilliant performance, all things considered. And Wan-Bissaka was just amazing. So 100% agree with you there. Thank you for your comment. Neil Duffin says, what about the tanks? The He-Man, Maguire and Obi-Wan Bissaka. I love it. He-Man, Maguire and Obi-Wan Bissaka. They were beasts. Pogba outstanding. De Gea also fantastic. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Those were the standout players. Rashford too, of course, got the 2 goals. You've got to admire the input he had there. 100%. Thank you very much for your comment there, Neil. Much appreciated. Lots of people tuning in tonight, probably to all do this. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's all laugh at Chelsea. Yes! I hope you're laughing at home too, because it was, if there's ever a time to laugh at Chelsea, it's right now when we bloody smashed them up 4-0. Anyway, there you go. Alex Rudd with a super chat saying Chelsea defence is gash. Yes, well, based on that performance, it was ropey as anything. But what I would say, Alex, and I said it in the live stream as well, buddy, that United are going to have to get that early goal because we do have the players that can hurt teams on the counter-attacks with pace. And when other teams are having to chase the game, it creates openings and spaces for United. We have the players to exploit teams when that happens. And it did happen, and Chelsea were made to pay big time, and they looked ropey as anything in that second half. But just imagine they converted that Tammy Abraham chance. Just imagine they converted, you know, one of the other chances that they had in the first half that was they hit the woodwork or something. Then maybe they'd have set up differently second half. They wouldn't have had to commit so much forward. They wouldn't have had to leave those openings at the back there, and they would have defended in a completely different way. But I completely agree they were gashed because we've scored 4 goals. And the way that Pogba goal in particular, sorry, the Rashford goal, which Pogba assisted in particular, was just awful defending from Chelsea. They give the ball away at like the halfway line, and then nobody's really covering the run of Rashford. There's just a gaping hole in the centre of their defence, and Rashford runs on through. Maybe nobody was expecting that calibre of ball from Pogba, but still, I mean, I agree with you, Alex. Chelsea's defence is gash, and guess what? Guess what, Alex? They haven't got David Luiz anymore. You know why? Because he's with you at Arsenal. And what a crazy decision that is from Frank Lampard, I think, in a situation where they can't sign anyone. It would really help to have the experience of David Luiz at the back there. I think so anyway. So there you go. Thank you very much for your comment and super chat there, Alex. Let's just read out a bunch more comments, guys. I've just realised we're coming up to half an hour, so I won't stick around too long. But to everybody who has sent in comments, you're a bunch of legends. If I don't read out your comments, just understand that I would do if I could do. And you come back after this video's finished and get your thoughts and comments in the not live comment section, and I will respond to them in due course for shizzle. Right. Kayam Ali comments and says, we still need a better midfield. I'm 100% in agreement with you there, buddy. I am. We didn't get that replacement. Somebody like Bruno Fernandes in the summer. We lost Herrera in the summer. Defensively, I think from a defensive mid point of view, we need someone as well because, okay, McTominay was decent today, but and Pogba was good, but defensively they caused some problems for the back line as well. They're not the most resilient and defensive-minded of players there that we've got. And we could do with a Roy Keane type player is all I'm saying. Somebody who's a bit more defensive, even like a Nicky Butt. Somebody who can really get a challenge in there, who really is a terrier, and who really hustles in the midfield and wins the ball back. Like a Kante does for Chelsea, that sort of a player. Absolutely. Thank you for your comment there. Little Z00 comments and says, Little Z, is that a reference to the movie City of God, my friend? Anyway, says Wan-Bissaka, he can play right back and right wing. What a player. He absolutely can. I mean, he's got pace, he's got strength, he's got the ability to beat a man because he did that numerous times today, and he can get a final product in down the right-hand side. He looks very, very good. I love the way he overlaps. I love the way he judges it well when to go forward and is really adept at getting forward. I love that. I love the fact that we've just got such a great player on our hands there. £50 million. I know he's had one game in the top flight here for United, and we've just seen him in pre-season, but £50 million, it's looking like a bargain already. If we can have him for the next 5 to 10 years, and he's only going to get better, what a bargain. Even though it's 50 million, it sounds crazy to say that. But he just come in there, he's instantly made our team better. I haven't seen him put a single foot wrong in all of the 5-6 games, including the preseason games, that we have seen from Wan-Bissaka. Barely put a foot wrong. Astounded with that player. Unbelievable. And Harry Maguire next to him, there's a lot more to come from him. Defensively, he's going to add a lot. Defending set pieces, attacking set pieces as well, he's going to add a lot. And also just his ability to read the opposition's movements, and he's a very intelligent player, and the way that he does bring that calmness at the back by playing it out. Just a great player, isn't he? So really happy that we've got him, really happy that we've got Bissaka. 2 great signings. Daniel James, it was just a perfect start for all our debutants, for all our players, for all the players that have something to prove this season that we didn't sign, that were still here already. They've taken a huge shot in the arm from this. Trust me. Rashford, it will be over the moon. Martial will be over the moon. Pogba will probably be over the moon as well. So we've had a big boost. These players are going to need to perform. They're going to have to step up if United are going to have a successful season. So you can't really ask for more, boys and girls. You can't ask for more. We've just done Chelsea 4-0. Get in there, you beauties. Right, get your comments and final thoughts in, people, because I will be sticking around a little longer. Rudd says City have got his Little Z. Yeah, I thought that's what his name was. Maybe I could be wrong, but it is a great movie, Alex Rudd. Absolutely, what a fantastic movie that is. If you've not seen it, watch it. The Music Fiend comments, Flying Pig mixtape coming soon. Not anytime soon, but there will be like a weekly rap diss track coming on the channel for upcoming oppositions. Instead of doing like a preview, which I may do as well, like a sensible preview for games, I'm also just going to do a rap. It's crazy, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm going to keep a lookout for that on Thursday or Friday in anticipation to the Wolves game. There will be a Wolves preview diss track rap coming out. Wasim Rahuman comments, Pig, only the sloppy passes killed me today from United. Fair play, man, yeah. And there were times when Manchester United didn't cover themselves in glory out there, but overall we did a decent enough job. I'd say the final product from the lads was poor. Rashford especially needs to improve his final product if he's going to play as an assist role as well, which he was sort of in. So I hear you. And if it wasn't actually for Chelsea being very, very sloppy today, and their passes allowing United in, or their mistakes allowing United in, like giving the lead to United from Kurt Zuma when he's pulled Rashford down in the box where there was no real need. He should have just stayed on his feet and stood his ground, but he pulled Rashford down. And that gave us the opening lead. And there was other times in the game where, like, Martial had that chance. They just gifted the ball to us. The Pogba assist for Rashford, that was a complete gift. Chelsea had a nightmare today. So if Chelsea didn't make those mistakes, because other than that, up until about the 55th, 60th minute, they played okay. If they didn't make those mistakes, then it could have been much worse for United. But as it is, everything went our way. We won the game 4-0. We smashed Chelsea. We've made them look a right set of mugs out there on the pitch. The fans will be in dismay. They've got Lampard there. He's going to have to take this as a baptism of fire, and he's going to have to learn, and he's going to have to learn a lot from that Chelsea performance today and make the necessary adjustments, because otherwise I can see it being a very big struggle for Chelsea this season. You have to ask yourselves this. I know we've got a new campaign. We've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager. We've got some really good players in there. Pogba, Martial, Rashford, they all did well and got on the score sheet, and Pogba set up a couple of goals, and you know, we've got good players in there, but we don't have the best team in the league. We don't have Man City. We don't have Liverpool's starting 11. We don't have that amount of quality in there. We've got some, but we don't have that amount in there. So you've got to ask yourself whether we can actually, you know, whether if we were coming up against another team like Liverpool or City, would we put in that performance? And you have to ask yourself, how bad are Chelsea under Frank Lampard if Manchester United are smashing them 4-0. And I don't want to take anything away from United, because I think truly we played awesome today. But how good are United? It's still hard to tell. We don't really know. We've come up against a decent Chelsea team, probably one of the worst Chelsea teams for years in terms of who was actually out there on the pitch. When I was looking at the team, there was no Pulisic to start with. There was no Kante to start with. I just looked at their team and thought, well, we could definitely have them, really. That's how I felt, and I haven't really felt like that for a long time. Certainly not the days when Frankie Lamps was lining up for them. So, and I don't say that affectionately, by the way. But there you go. Tom Charlton, how you doing? Tom says, it was a great win, but we can't get too carried away. Absolutely. First game of the season. Wolves is a tough game as well. Trust me, it'll probably be a tougher bloody game than this one. Wolves are a good team. They're in the Europa League for the first time in 39 years. They're up there. They did very well against us last season. A couple of times they beat us last season. So we've got our work cut out for us getting that result in that game. So let's not get carried away. But of course, it's an amazing, amazing result today to get the win. And it could not have gone any better. That's what I'd say on it. Right, guys and girls, I'm pretty much going to wrap this video up. Shout out to everybody who I've not responded to. Navaneeth Ravi, Mo Wadder, Cameron Ketch, Icon AD, Berber Spin, Mark Sin, The Music Fiend, Ren Chan. All you guys and girls who have tuned in, thanks so much for stopping by on the post-match reaction show. I am going to wrap it up here, but don't go anywhere. Come back if I've not responded to you, and comment below after this video is finished, and I'll respond to everybody when I can a bit later. But, you know, it's amazing, isn't it? What a stunning result. You know, 4 goals, 2 goals for Rashford, 1 goal for Martial, another goal for Daniel James. Stunning performances from all of our debutants. It could not have gone any better. I'm absolutely bloody buzzing over it. Because there was so much, like, pressure going in. I was wondering, oh, don't lose this game. Just don't lose this game beforehand. Because it would have been the terrible start that we, United, desperately don't want. We don't need extra pressure on Ollie. We don't need extra pressure on the squad. We don't need that. We needed a great start. We've got that. Right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Smash a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. I'm going to upload lots of Manchester United content over the next week or so, and football content in general. Tomorrow is Monday Analysis. Tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream podcast sometime. Don't know when I can find an hour to do it. It's around about an hour long or so, half an hour to an hour. And we will just get into the results at the weekend, how the table's looking, some of the other team performances, some more about Manchester United after the dust has settled. So do keep a lookout for Monday Analysis tomorrow on the channel. That'll be absolutely coming, and we'll get into things a bit more. But honestly, everybody who watches these videos, everybody who's tuned into the live stream today as well, the watch-along game and made it so fun, thank you, legends, for tuning in. Honestly, it really does mean a lot to me. So thanks for getting involved. Love you guys. Do us a favour, like, subscribe, comment, tweet me anything you want at Mr. Flying Pig HD, and I'll respond to you as and when I can. Follow me over there as well on all social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD. But for now, you've been watching the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. Ugh. Have yourselves a good one. Take it easy. Come on, United. Ollie's at the wheel. We've got bloody Slabhead at the back there. How good does it feel? I'll tell you. Just look at the smile on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's face, lad. That tells you everything. Great to see Fergie smiling. Great to see Solskjaer celebrating. Great to see the lads with smiles on their faces playing good stuff and scoring some nice goals and doing the job for United on the first game of the season. Long may it continue. Right, guys, I'll see you very, very soon indeed. Thanks so much to everybody who's tuned in. Love you guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you tomorrow for Monday Analysis. Have yourselves a good one.